Hey guys, Marsingin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a look at the fully EZA'd LR full power Frieza. Mine is Rainbow full level 10 links. I think I link leveled him last year when we knew that the worldwide was going to be Namek Saga themed, just in case. And so here we are a year later with him actually getting his EZA. Now, this is a unit that I really never used before. I was never a huge fan of him. I thought he was very basic, nothing too crazy. But his EZA definitely seems interesting. So he's a full power leader for 4 key and 150% to stats, or extreme STR 4 key and 100%. When we look at his super attacks, his 12 key raises attack and defense for 1 turn, does mega colossal and sacrifices 5% HP. So doing mega colossal damage on the 12 key is obviously very good. Sacrificing 5% HP, I could do without that, but at least they brought it down from 8%. And he is raising his attack and defense. And then his 12 key greatly raises attack and defense and does mega colossal damage. So if you want to go for additionals, get those extra defense raises. His kit still is very basic, but they definitely made him a lot better. They've given him this extra defense. So he gets 4 key, attack and defense 120%. Then he gets an additional 40% defense when you perform a super attack. He also gets attacks effective against all types if it is an ultra super. So extra 40% defense and effective against all types on his 18 key, which is very cool. He gets an additional 2 key and 40% attack when your HP is 80% or less. 2 key and 40% attack when it's 60% or less. Guaranteed crit when it's 40% or less. And he disables the attacked enemy's action once within the turn if HP is 40% or less when attacking once only. So the only downside to him is kind of like the Namek Goku when we were talking about his like transformation condition, is the fact that in easier content you're obviously not going to be losing a ton of HP, so you're not necessarily going to be dropping below those thresholds, because like you see here we've got support on the rotation, but because of the orbs we couldn't get enough key to actually get his 18 key super, whereas obviously when you're below a certain amount of HP you're getting those extra key buffs, and then it's not going to be as difficult. So over 4.5 mil on the 12 keys, pretty good. Then we get the additional, so we got double defense raises on this turn. I should have checked his start of turn defense as well, my bad, but we'll do that on the next turn. But he does finish him off here. And then I brought along the FRIEZA. In fact, what I might do, because Cooler's start of turn defense isn't great, I might put him in slot 1, because maybe he could eat a super and then we actually take some damage, and then we'll have lower health for full power Frieza on the next turn. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, because we won't take damage from normal attacks, but will he get supered? I guess we're supering first as well, so we actually might not even take that much damage anyway, even after all these attacks, if he goes ahead and supers us here. And of course we're going to get the additionals to get the defensive raise. So yeah, the only problem, and I've said this before, the only problem with showing off teams, units on Cooler's 200% team is the fact that Cooler is just going to go absolutely crazy sometimes and rinse through the enemy, and there you go. He doesn't even get, we don't even get to see whether he's going to get supered because he just laid waste to this man. So there you go. Now, we got some extra links here with Cooler, including legendary power. We have 200k defense at the start of the turn. So bear in mind he gets 40% on super, so he's going to be almost at 300k, and then because of the super attack effect that he gets for raising defense, he is going to be over 300k. So if we do this, now we can actually get the 18 key super, and let's see what kind of damage we are going to do here. Golden Frieza obviously just going to tank everything in slot 1. So the harder content is where we are going to be able to see Frieza's full potential, because obviously in things like Red Zone, Cell Max and stuff like that, going turn to turn, you're more likely to be starting a turn below a certain HP threshold in order to get those buffs for Frieza. Yeah, 6.3 on his 18 key. I mean, that's not terrible considering he doesn't have any of the buffs. And he is super effective against all types because we're doing the Ultra Super. So there's a level 3 dodge. And then obviously we take double digits from the normal attacks. That's exactly what I would expect. And then of course Cooler is probably just going to go off in slot 3 here now and finish him off completely. So yeah, there's the additionals. I purposely bought a 55% Cooler in the hopes that he wouldn't go too crazy, but The next rotation, we are going to have the third form Frieza, who, as we know from the release of the AGL one, is a great link partner for final form Frieza. So, sorry, full power Frieza, I should say. So let's do, actually, let's put you in slot 1 again. We're just going to keep, just on the off chance we take a super, we'll put him in slot 1 and hope that he can take some damage, because we are still very much nowhere near even the first cut-off point for full power Frieza to be getting extra stats. And we didn't get supered in slot 1 again. So it looks like we are going to have to go into the more difficult content, just like with Namek Goku, really, in order to see his full potential. Because these, I like using the Vegeta event as a testing ground, because Power Creep has made it so that even this event has basically just become a testing ground now. But yeah, it's obviously too easy for some of these units now. So we get the full 24 key super. We have all our links except over in a Flash and Legendary Power. We have 236k defense here with the support from third form Frieza. So that means when we super attack, we are going up to basically 350k plus the actual super attack effect. It greatly raises on the 18 key. So we are going to actually be close to knocking on the door of 400k. And then if we get the additional and do the additional 12 key super, then we are going to be over 400k defense, which is not bad. But again, when you consider some of the hardest content in the game, like 400k defense is not enough to tank normal attacks from Tech Cell Max. For double digits anyway. We'll still take reasonable damage, probably like, what, 20 to 30k, something like that. But still not great, maybe even 50. We'll see. We'll take him against Cell Max. But we did not get the additional super, unfortunately. But decent damage, over 7 million attack stat for the 18 key. Not bad. I could see him being useful on Cooler's team for some of these events, but the biggest problem is the AGL full power Frieza is on this team. Now, you could run both of them, obviously, but the AGL one, I feel like is kind of getting a new lease of life with the Cooler team. So I'm actually a bit worried about putting him in slot 1 now, because what if we actually do get killed? Because Cooler, before supering, we have 264k defense. If he gets hit with a super, he might actually die, unironically. Which would be bad, of course. But I do very much want to see how much we could, like, if we can actually, imagine if we finish out this turn with basically, like, you know, less than 40% HP, so we can get the full buffs for Frieza on the next turn. So let's see, how much does this actually do? 300k, alright, that's not too bad. I forget, of course, that mine is Rainbow. The time that he died to the God Vegeta Super was in slot 1, was in the 55% showcase. Because he didn't do any 12 key supers. He wasn't in slot 1, but he didn't do any 12 key super attacks. And he was only at 55% level 1 links. Whereas obviously now, my Cooler is Rainbow level 10 links. So he is a bit of a beast, shall we say. But now we've lost a ton of our HP. So what are we at? We are at 50, just over 50%. So let's see. What does Frieza actually get from this? So if we're at 50%, we are getting the first 2 key and 40% because we're at 80% or less. And then the next one is when we're at 60% or less. So we're getting that as well. So that's all we're getting for this turn. So we're getting 80% extra attack as well as 4 key. Like you can see here, this is the rotation that we've seen previously with Cool EZA. But we actually do have enough. We're already at, what is that, 16 key. So get the full 24 key for him here. And then let's see how much attack we do. We've got the support from Cool EZA, so we should be looking pretty good here. Because remember, he doesn't get extra defense, which is the only bad thing. If he got attack and defense as well, then I could see him being a bit more useful. Yeah, 7.5. I mean, we've seen a higher attack stat with better support units, with like Big Bad Bosses active. So I would definitely love it if he got defense as well as the attack. Because then in that more difficult content, like say Cell Max, if you're starting the turn below 40% HP, you can heal, but like your Frieza's still not going to have super great defense. Whereas if he was getting attack and defense with each of those HP thresholds, then obviously he would be much, much better. Which I think would be important, right? Because, you know, he's not going to be a great unit at the moment as it is. I mean, Cooler's got type advantage, so he's probably not taking a lot of damage here anyway, but we might as well put him in slot 1. Just on the off chance he eats a super. I wouldn't be surprised if he eats a super for double-digit damage at this point as well, to be honest. But on the off chance that we could potentially take some more damage, I'll put him in slot 1. So let's see. What does the super do? Can it actually do damage to Rainbow Cooler? Oh, it does 100k. Not a lot, but does that drop us below 40%? Oh, no, it's not enough. Not enough to get to 40%. So again, it's just like I said earlier in the video, and the same with the Namek Goku. We probably are going to have to get into the more difficult content in order to really see his full potential. Because it looks like we're not going to get a turn where we drop below 40% HP. Although we are moving on to the AGL phase now. So this is where we kind of have to be careful, because we would absolutely get killed by a final flash on this turn on Frieza. Even if it's after he supers, I believe. 50% or more. So Golden Frieza doesn't have his full damage reduction active this turn either. So we have to be careful about that. I think I might Sensu Beam this turn, because I do want to see full power Frieza tank without any assistance defense wise. So if we look at his defense start of turn with no support, it's only 200k. So I'm going to go ahead and use a Sensu Beam here. I shouldn't have supered with Golden Frieza, because we're getting the Dokkan attack here, but I guess it's fine regardless. We'll do this. So we're getting the Dokkan attack. I'll hit the nose, because maybe full power Frieza could actually finish him off. Full power Frieza is going to be effective against all types, because we are getting the Ultra Super. So he does have the potential to do good damage to Vegeta here. I don't know how I missed all of them, but okay. When the Tanabata units come back for Global, well, they come out for Global in like November or December. That's when we would expect the Trunks and Vegeta LR to come out, and then I believe they come back for the first time on Saiyan Day. So 8.8 million, that's pretty good with the links from Cooler, because we obviously have Big Bad Bosses active now as well. So 8.8 effective against all types, and then we do take double digit damage from the normal attack, so that is good. But obviously, you know, again, the Vegeta event, not the hardest event anymore. The final flash still does a pretty decent amount of damage to STR units that don't have any sort of defensive tech, like guarding and damage reduction and stuff like that. So the friend 55% Cooler, unfortunately, not getting a bunch of additional supers. So with the friend Cooler at 55%, I'm pretty sure we die to that, yeah. So full power Frieza, I mean, he's interesting. And that right there, that shows you the only weakness of Cooler. As much as I love Cooler, we've talked about this a lot. If you get bad RNG, I think the friend got, what, no additional 12 key supers? And that was a 55% friend with like level 3 links. So realistically, I was worried about whether full power Frieza would survive. I should have realised that, you know, Cooler was probably going to get taken out in that turn. But full power Frieza, he seems interesting. We will try him out in some of the harder content, but I'm really not expecting anything too crazy from him. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.